And as you can see, it's Pants Off, My Journey to Indiehood by Farbs. That's his handle. If he wants to tell you his real name, that's up to him during the course of the conversation. But he prefers Farbs. We're actually very pleased to have Farbs here today because just recently his game Captain Forever was done at IGF China. Terrific. And, sorry? Wrong. Whatever. Terrific. Bit of background. He's gonna talk about himself mercilessly and pretty straightforward. But just a quick part of history. He's done a couple of years as a programmer and 2 years as a designer at Micro Forte and Big World. He's been with the Rational 2K for 4 years there as a programmer. Multiple indie freeware games outside of ours, so hopefully that didn't affect his day job. ROM Check Fail, presented at GDC 2009, experimental gameplay session. Quit his job to do full-time indie work. And so he's here today to tell us about that process, and now he's got here. Please, everybody, put your hands together for Farbs.
It occurred to me that just kind of coming up here and talking more or less about myself for an hour is more or less the most narcissistic thing I can imagine ever doing. I figure that's the right way to start. Let's go right with this. Okay, so let's go. Becoming indie. My sort of journey towards becoming an independent game developer all started about mid-2005. As a quick refresher, at this time, Bobcat had sort of identified and then dominated the casual game market, right? By making small games that people really want to get into. And this sparked a massive gold rush. This is basically the big first indie rush. People were all jumping in thinking, yeah, we can make lots of money making little things. And at the time, casual and indie were kind of synonymous, right? So I've got a real passion for making small, interesting experimental projects, so I thought, yeah, I'm getting on board. So I started working on this game called Fishy Fishy. Back then it kind of looked like that. So I'm doing this, but I already have a full-time job. I have to try and find time to do this, and I'm sure many of us have tried personal projects and things. It's really hard to find the time to do these things. What worked really well for me was to think about how to fit this into my personal life. And what I did was very, very simple, but highly effective, and that was to make game development my default activity. And by that I mean, if I'm at home, and I've got nothing to do, then instead of turning on the TV, or browsing the net, or playing some random game, I just sit down and automatically start developing. It's a simple habit to cultivate, and you can get loads done just by making it a habit. Tools are really important. Everybody always reads about how there's like free tools available and they can do everything. You get Audacity and GIMP, and that's fantastic, but unless you know how to use them, they're really useless. So I learned a lot very quickly about cross-disciplinarianism. So basically, as a solo dev, you end up doing everything, so you really need to learn all the disciplines of game development. But what I found as well was, in teamwork, it's still very, very important to learn about what everybody else is doing and how they work and what they're trying to do, because anything that you make in a game is, well, it's only a small segment of it if you're working in a team, and it needs to work with all the things that people are doing from other disciplines. So if you can understand the perspective they're coming from, then your work can be better integrated into the project as a whole. You just create a much more cohesive thing. So I strongly recommend just learning everything you can about game development rather than just your discipline. So moving on, about 6 months in, Fishy Fishy is well underway in development, and I haven't really got very far at all. So this was a bit of a disappointment for me, and it got me thinking once again about tools. So at this point, I started the first prototype using a system called Pygame, which is great for just blasting out quick prototypes, but at the time didn't have a very good renderer. It wasn't very easy to distribute things, so I thought, oh no, I'll just use the industry standard. Bobcat had released their framework, I used that. Running all my game code in C++ was just slow and laborious, and it took me about 10 times as long to get to the point where the first prototype was, just working in this new environment. So I thought, I've got to fix this. So I built what I call Pygame, which is really basically just the Bobcat framework, get the rendering, get the distribution, availability, all that kind of stuff, and jam Python into it, taking a lot of the ideas from Pygame. And that, I use that for a lot of projects, and saved me heaps of time. So if you ever think of something you think is going to save you time, do it, because you're going to use it again and again and again. This brings me through to kind of early 2007, still working on Fishy Fishy. It's getting to be a little bit of a drag. So I think, right, I'm going to take a holiday. And for me, taking a holiday is basically just working on a different game. So I started on this title, Polychromatic Funk Monkey. And this was interesting for a number of reasons. One, I just needed to finish something, right? I'm making this game, this Fishy Fishy game that I'm expecting to sell and make a lot of money from. But I've never finished a game before by myself. I'm probably going to screw it up. So I thought I should just get out there and get something finished, learn about installers and boring things like that, but just get the process down. The other thing this was about is selfish design, which is something I'm actually really keen on. I made Polychromatic Funk Monkey because I wanted to play it, and nobody had made it yet. I was really keen on the idea of procedurally generated 2D platformer worlds, and I thought there was a lot of fun to be had there. What I really wanted was to play a roguelike 2D platformer with like lots of different boss monsters and items and crazy cool stuff like that, but it occurred to me that that was pretty much impossible. Curse you, Derek, you. So I slimmed it right down to something that I thought was manageable and I got done. Back on selfish design though, this is something that, like I said, I found has been really effective for me. The two main benefits are, one, you don't need to always worry about what the audience is going to think about the game, what the player's going to think, how they're going to feel about it, because you are that person, you know immediately, because you're playing the game. And the second thing that works really well is it's a hugely motivating thing to work on a game that you enjoy playing. So if you deliberately make a game because you enjoy playing it, you get to just stay in that feedback loop. You know, if you come up with a new feature that you think is going to be really awesome to play, then you're going to really want to put it in there so that you get to play the game. And that's something I continue to do now, although it means that I make niche titles and I have to try and find players who share my tastes. It just makes it work so much easier. Obviously, it does kind of screw me up for all the people who are not me, which is most people. I think there might be a few here. The big problem, obviously, is people who aren't me don't know how to play the game. They've never played it before, they haven't developed skills in playing it. So I need to then rapidly change gears towards the end of the project and think about tutorials and how to get started and stuff like that, which we always have to do anyway, but it's slightly harder if you don't even think about it at all at the start. If you are thinking about doing this kind of stuff, for God's sake, just learn to use the web. Releasing this game was when I first started thinking about, okay, I'm going to need a web page. And you can just churn through these technologies one after the other. They're really quite easy to learn and very, very powerful, so just do it. This game was also my introduction to the independent gaming community. So by this point, I was still kind of aware of the casual side of independent games. And it just hadn't occurred to me that other people were making crazy fun shit because they wanted to make crazy fun shit, and it was just like freeware projects and things. And this is something I wanted to do, so it was really great to find other people who were doing the same sort of thing, be able to share ideas, talk to them. Community's great. Identity is an interesting problem. So by this point I was working with 2K Australia, and I needed to make it very, very clear that whatever I was doing with my sort of fun freeware projects, my independent work, and things I might say on blogs and forums and stuff like that, was not at all related to my day job, because it wasn't. And if I was using my name, and my name appeared on credits for other games, then it might start to get a little confused, and I wanted to keep these things independent. Luckily, I already had a real-life nickname that had kind of become an online handle, so I just ran with that and stayed as Farbs, which my name tag now says today, which is great. This can be a bit of a problem. It's something some people find a little bit frustrating sometimes. Specifically, I've had problems with mainstream media, which kind of weirds them out, and business development folk sometimes just find it a little bit strange.